Welcome back to another frickin' day on the YouTube channel. So first things first, got to turn off the dang fire alarm thing. Showed you guys in another video. It's kind of annoying, but is what it is. So now what I've done is taken off more of this front end. I took the headlights out. I'll show you the headlights in a little bit. And I've got a bunch of motor mounts that I'm going to replace on this thing. You know, it kind of bangs around. So I'm going to do all the motor mounts while I'm in here and also replace this radiator. And, you know, I told you guys that it kind of got in an accident and I can see some damage here. So that needs to be fixed. And yeah, so basically getting on that. And I'm going to run down and first do some fiberglass work at the other shop and, you know, get that done and in hardening while I'm working on this stuff so I can maybe shoot some primer today or this weekend, but we'll see if it all works out. So the old TSX is pretty far apart at this point. So what I'm doing right now is replacing these engine mounts and transmission mounts. You can see this one, you know, pretty much smoked, and I'd imagine most of these other ones are as well. I think, you know, I took the radiator out, so this one's nice and easy to get to. You know, this one over here is pretty easy, and the hardest one, I think, is going to be that rear one, but not too bad whatsoever. And then there's some on the transmission down in here. You can see one down there. And you know, it's actually the condenser that got damaged in some sort of accident, or maybe someone hit a deer or something, but it's quite a bit of work to actually take that apart, and then you got to get your AC recharged and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna leave it, flush the coolant, and you know, the coolant does look pretty fresh, but radiator's out of there, and I bought some new coolant, so we should be set there. You know, this car, obviously, it had a little rattle from the engine mount being broken, and probably the other ones, it's got around 170K on it, so getting them all replaced will definitely be good. So a couple of these transmission mounts are just in mint condition. I mean, look at that. It's not even attached anymore. Kind of crazy. See, so it's supposed to be attached to the rubber. This is completely free, so it's completely disconnected. Got all the frickin' transmission mounts, engine mounts, and there's these suspension mounts that I got in here. So, you know, 6 drivetrain mounts in total, and then there's 2 suspension mounts. So I've been crawling around on the floor and fighting this thing for a little while now, but got them all in there. I did, you know, it's always painful to lose a bolt, but there's one bolt that's either with the car or it flew off somewhere. Frickin', you know how that goes. Anyone that's worked on a car, losing a bolt, you know, when it falls into the abyss or flies into some area and you can't find it, it's kind of frustrating. So that was the only hiccup, but other than that, this thing's all fresh. You know, one thing that does kind of bother me about this car is it leaks a lot of oil. I think the timing cover is leaking. So I need to fix that in the future. It would be nice to do it now, but you know, I'm stinking at my dad's shop with multiple cars. I gotta kind of, you know, triage and get this thing out of here. Maybe do that in the future. And I will show you guys a list right now. As you can see at the bottom of the list, I did end up selling some of the parts off the car that, you know, like the fenders and a couple things, the wheels. So I did recuperate a little bit of budget, but at this time, I think I was around 9,200, and I still want to put a sound system in and a couple other things. So that list shows, you know, I'm running a budget on this car. It's $10,000 this year. So, you know, I'm kind of getting there, getting tight on it. So I still got to get a stereo, or I have an Android head unit. I'll show you guys, you know, when I go back to my other shop. So Android head unit for that, and I've bought a bunch of paint and body panels and, you know, all sorts of stuff, fairings, motor mounts, yada yada yada. So I'm gonna probably leave it how it is for now, and maybe next year do like $5,000 that I could spend on it or something, because I like this car, you know, it's worth the money to me. So I'm gonna probably clean up and try and get this radiator and stuff in here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Was a frickin' journey to get all these done last night. So I've been looking over them this morning, or today, you know, and this one is just nice. And then you have this one, pretty much completely screwed as well. And this one's pretty crazy, completely disconnected. So awesome to have these replaced. I'm excited to drive the car and see what it's like. So I'm gonna go grab these, you know, Euro headlights, or these J6s they're called, and I'll show you guys what they look like. They're really nice. Been doing a little work on this front end. So I don't know about you guys, but personally, I hate the little clips that hold on some of these panels. So I try and get away from them as much as I can. So what I did is took some 1032 nuts and welded them in where the clips need to be to hold on. You know, it's over there. It's the cover that attaches basically the top of the bumper to the actual car. So I will have to have some clips in the bumper itself, I'm pretty sure. Definitely going to be happy to have some of those gone. And one thing that I did notice when I took this all apart is the front end. This stub was super messed up. It was all bent out of shape. So I got the old torch out, heated it up, and, you know, kind of straightened it. And in the process, I broke that nut off, and there was no nut on the bottom. So welded a couple nuts in there, and I got a new bumper bar from that parts car. It's over there. And, you know, I'll be putting that on there. It is a little damaged on the right-hand side, but I don't think it's a big deal because I don't think it holds up any part of the bumper. But I'm gonna get that on there, and then next thing is gonna be to adhere this rear fairing onto here. So I'm gonna put some glue, this marine adhesive on that area. Let's see if I can get it out of here without knocking everything over. So this should work really nice. It's polyurethane adhesive. It's basically, you know, used for boats, for bonding things together. And it says to be used with fiberglass and plastic, so I think we should be good. So I'll adhere it in here because I can't put any pop rivets here. And then I'll do the same over here, put some pop rivets like the front bumper. So it should be nice and secure, and should. All right, so here's the headlights that I bought, in really good condition considering how old they are. You know, you can see basically this is clear on my car, and on these they're amber on my car and they're clear on these. And, you know, really in mint shape. They were kind of expensive. You guys could look on that spreadsheet, around $500 for the pair, but I think it's worth it for the cleaner look and to get some OEM lights, or, you know, headlight housings. And then I bought, you know, some really nice HIDs, and same, you know, kind of the matching, you know, H1s that go with them. So should be really nice and should definitely brighten up the road. And these do have an automatic leveling, you know, feature in them. And, you know, the pigtails cut, and obviously my car, you know, doesn't have the provision for it, but I kind of want to figure out, you know, the wiring on this. I might look into a wiring diagram and see if I can't get that operational, because, you know, it would be kind of a cool feature to retrofit onto this car. So I'll look into that, and if I do end up figuring it out, I might, you know, put a little, you know, tutorial or something together. And I'll show you guys in a cutscene right now. Keep letting you guys down and not getting these cutscenes when I, you know, I'm doing them. But these are the bumpers with the sealant on them, and this right here is the sealant that I use. You can get it at Home Depot. So wasn't really happy with the fit of that, you know, Taiwanese bumper, or excuse me, fender on the car. So went on old Facebook Marketplace and found a used TSX fender. It looks to be in really good shape. I think there might be one little dent up here, but no big deal. So I'm gonna sand this and then get some polyurethane primer on it and then block it again. And I pulled these out of the paint booth. So I put this, you know, 3M like marine adhesive on here, especially for this back one. You know, I put it basically under this lip down here. It's basically held up and down like this because I don't want to put any pop rivets through there, because it's kind of shaped like this, so you might smush it. So that should hold good. And then 4 pop rivets over here. Then obviously on the front, you saw I did 5 up front, or 5 of them, and a bunch of fasteners, and then sealant all along the edge, so no dirt should get back there or anything, which should be good. Holy smokes, dude, it's been a lot of work, but we got everything pretty much prepared for paint. I am a little bit bummed out. I guess, you know, my dad told me that these, you know, adhesive lines aren't perfect, but you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. So I got everything hung up, side skirts, spoiler. I got this fender. I actually picked up this fender, guys. I think I explained that to you. and then gonna epoxy these pieces and paint them black. So got all the heaters going in here. So, ladies and gents, got this all epoxied. Looks really good. This epoxy always lays down really nice. Sometimes I feel like I put it on too heavy, but you know, it always seems to lay down pretty flat. So now that this is all epoxy, you can see fender, side skirts and everything. I'm mixing up some black Limco, Nighthawk Black Pearl, and gonna be spraying all these components. So kind of blacking out the emblem, blacking out part of the grill and the surround, and same with the you know, the fog light covers there. So I'm gonna get to spraying and I'll throw you guys on the time lapse. So per the usual, didn't get a good time lapse of all the paint being done, but you know, I kind of ran with this and put it back together and it looks really good. So I just need to put this trim piece on up here. I'm working on getting it sanded, and one of the little brackets that holds it on is broken off. So I'll be using some 5-minute epoxy on that, getting that kind of back together. But the car looks really nice, definitely big upgrade from what it used to be. And I got these really nice HIDs. I'll show you guys. Turn these ones on. So really beautiful lights. You know, nice and blue. They're pretty expensive, but you know, good lights you can't go wrong with. And one thing I'm gonna do is get some LEDs for the side up here, and probably LED, you know, indicator lights and everything. So that'll be nice. And then side skirts on here, and same with the rear bumper and the fairing. So definitely looks a lot better than it did. Super happy with it. You know, the paint never comes out perfect, but you got to be happy with it, you know. New hood, it's definitely a big upgrade. The one that I had was pretty damaged. And one last thing I need to do on this car is fix this top up here. And then I'm going to paint this area with the dark gray. I will be running over to my other shop and putting those wheels on this thing as well. So that should look really good. And I'll update you guys when I'm back over there. What's up, everyone? So I got pretty much this thing all back together. You know, I got this spoiler on here. So this is a 2001 to 2005 Honda Civic Coupe spoiler, and I got it off a Spoiler Source. Fits really nice. You know, I was surprised by how it kind of fit on there. So basically, here, I'll pop the trunk and show you. Definitely happy with this thing, with how this thing is looking. But this spoiler, you basically have to take these little rubber pieces out, these ones, and then it just fits in there perfectly. So you got to use, you know, kind of like a Phillips to get these tightened up. And then, you know, the other screw goes right there. So got that guy on there. Definitely adds to the look. And for $100, I mean, can't go wrong. So, you know, build's kind of coming to an end on this one. I got to get, one thing I'm going to do is get the Android head unit in here. I'll probably make a video out of that one, just kind of going over the install. And one last thing I need to do is also fix the roof up here. So car is looking pretty sweet. Gotta love this tree making a few petals. But yeah, I'll get some kind of scenic shots of this thing, and hope you guys kind of enjoy this video. Hey, thanks for stopping into the Bluebird Enterprises YouTube channel. If you like what you saw, give me a big thumbs up, and hopefully you're leaving with a bigger smile than you came in with.